I think I saw the TikTok thing. I saw it coming before it came.
I mean, it's been the works for like 5 years.
I'm just saying, like, everyone was talking a week out. Like, I saw everyone. People were way too emotional about that. Was it?
Oh, you're saying you knew it wasn't going to last.
What's Braxton Berrios' girlfriend's name?
Alex Earl.
She was like, I saw multiple lives where she was like in tears over TikTok. And I get it. I'm sure she banked off TikTok. But it was just so clear that Trump was going to.
That it was a grift?
Yeah, it was going to do something to 90 days.
A grift to control the media.
Are people, super chill. Are people going to cry again in 90 days?
They didn't even do 90 days. It's 75.
Oh, wow. Huh. I heard a 90 day.
No, 90 day was supposed to be what it was, but I think he ended up on 75.
Classic.
But I get it. Like, a lot of people make a lot of money off that. So, I mean, if your livelihood was you're basically getting fired, but you have no real alternative to, like you can go to Instagram Reels, but let's be real, it's not the same.
Yeah, we all talked about it like it was this, like, oh man, what are you going to do without your ability to scroll? Not thinking about the fact that there are like tons of people who literally pay their rent or their mortgage based off of what they make on TikTok. And I had a lot of people respond to me about stuff like that because I was one of the people, unsurprisingly, who was bitching and moaning about it. And I had a bunch of people like, oh, well, you can still, the best of the best will still show up on the other ones like Instagram Reels or whatever. And it's like, it takes a long time to build a following. And everything that exists on Instagram Reels is from TikTok 2 weeks earlier.
What's going on with sunglasses, Jeremy?
I put them on and then I decided to keep them. But I appreciate you asking.
You look like a movie director.
Thank you. I think.
Yeah, my brother. Yeah, my brother kind of does the same vibe where he'll do the sunglass dad hat hoodie thing, and I'd be like, "You look like one of these Hollywood producers that's really, really rich, but they don't show it,
trying to look
and they know
rich.
A bunch of people." Yeah, that's kind of like a vibe you have.
Good.
Right
I want you to think that I'm rich, but not rich, even though I'm not rich.
You do convey wealth.
Is it because I'm Jewish?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, watch out there.
No,
man.
my bad.
Watch out.
I was really meant by.
Too much.
I meant like your aesthetic, like the clothes you wear, your style.
Jeremy's
Thank
happy
you.
he can finally tell
appreciate
somebody.
I didn't
they're
mean that
talking
to be.
too much.
I wasn't thinking Jewish at all, honestly.
No, I think you were,
So that was
and that's
innocent.
okay. No,
Maybe
it's okay. Anti-Semitism's cool.
Maybe
now.
subconsciously.
Nice save, Chris. Nice save.
No,
we have doubled.
No, it's because
I'm looking
I try
at
to
you-
dress. I do
Your sweater, like the
Thank
sweater.
you. Yeah, I try. I do my best to try to dress presentably.
Yeah, you do.
And
You do that well.
Thank you. I do appreciate it because
I feel like I've
put
stepped in it
care
now.
into it.
I'm already
no.
like-
I made you. I put you in it when you weren't there at all,
Yeah.
and it's just because it's 2025, baby. We can do what we want.
Other room, go ahead.
Fuentes.
I'm just here looking at Jalen Hurts stats because I'm trying to put together You Betcha on the fly, and his over under on yards is 179.5. That seems so incredibly low, but also right on brand.
You know, he right now has the, not to get too sportsy, but he's tied for the longest playoff streak without a turnover. Tied Mahomes, 6 games. It's pretty amazing, all things considered.
He doesn't throw that often.
Can I tell you another stat that I was really excited about this week, but we didn't get a chance to talk about?
This is about Khalil Ware.
No, it's Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
So Saquon Barkley is the first running back ever to have 4 separate 60-plus yard touchdown runs against one franchise in his career. He's now done that against the Rams. But all 4 of them came in the 2 games he played against the Rams this season.
I saw that his 62-yard run was his 5th longest run this season.
It's sick.
Touchdown run this season.
Oh, as somebody who had plus 6.5 in that game, that long run by Barkley gets them up to 13 because that game was over.
Right.
So that long run actually was like, wait, I can backdoor this now. I need a missed extra point. I got the missed extra point, and then all of a sudden the Rams just walked down the field. That was good for me. They couldn't do it the whole half. They couldn't move the ball. And then they just walked down the field.
And so you got?
Oh, yeah, we covered. 6.5.
Congratulations.
Just a great backdoor cover.
When a team is up 2 scores and the other team goes to prevent defense, the other team goes down and scores almost every time.
And they were blitzing
The Fangio
Stafford,
special.
and he
I was
couldn't
gonna say,
breathe.
yeah.
And they just decided, we're up 13 now. We're going to stop blitzing, and you can just walk down the field. Oh, chef's kiss. God, that was great.
How people lost Texans plus 9.5 would make me sick for the rest of my life.
I did that. I had plus 8.5, but yes, it was all brutal.
My dad had 9.5. He texted me. He was so mad
it was,
after that.
That one was just ridiculous.
Hey, Mike Malley.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
I want to actually ask you guys, you got me thinking this. You were talking about Jalen Hurts quarterbacks. I want to go now. Every major sport, the 10 biggest stars. In football, it's probably going to be the top 10 biggest quarterbacks. baseball, the Trouts, the Judges. Let's group together in every major sport the top 10 biggest stars. Who has the most likable group? Because I argue it's football. These quarterbacks right now, you know how badly I want to hate Josh Allen? He's a Bill. I'm a Dolphins fan. Like him.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, likable.
So likable.
Patrick Mahomes. I know Mahomes with the flopping stuff. The internet's kind of going after Mahomes right now.
Josh Allen's a flopper too, though.
Dude, I like Mahomes.
But
Yeah,
I like Mahomes.
I love watching him play. Like, he's a good dude.
Tell me
Like,
an unlikable quarterback. Of the major stars,
Josh
the
Allen.
biggest.
Aaron
You don't like
Rodgers.
Josh Allen?
Nah, dude, he's a Bill.
Josh
That's
Allen
it.
is not
Aaron
a
Rodgers.
Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
All right, there's two.
There's
Yeah.
who was the other
Aaron
one?
Rodgers,
Aaron
Deshaun
Rodgers.
Watson.
Okay, all right.
Very
There you
unlikable.
go. But
Yeah.
I would
But
argue
not
those
near
are
the
not
top.
in the top
Not near
10.
the top.
Deshaun's not in top 10.
No, neither is Rodgers.
Yeah, so like
You know who also very likable? Dak.
Dak Prescott.
Very likable.
Extremely likable.
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa.
So likable.
Getting on my nerves lately.
Well, that's
Not a top
This is
10
different
player
regional.
either.
No, I mean,
but I'm just talking about the biggest names in the sport. Like what other sport? Like do we
Jared
like
Goff, likable.
do we
Baker
like
Mayfield,
do we
likable.
like Bryce Harper?
I think if we knew
I
more
like
about
Bryce
these
Harper.
hockey guys, Bryce Harper's super likable guy. I think if we knew more about these hockey guys, we would really like them
Yes.
because I think their personalities that they don't show on screen are sick and they would be really fun to hang out with. And they're all so skilled right
Yeah.
now. Like some of these guys, like Matthews, McDavid, McKinnon.
Hockey,
Reinhart,
charming
like-
accents.
Okay,
Doesn't matter where
and
you're
that's
from.
the other thing. They
Whether you're
talk
from
so
Canada,
cool,
like
dude.
The
They talk
Canadian,
so cool.
The Canadian accent is so damn charming.
It is because it seems sweet.
It's right. It's just
There's
like
something about sorry.
yeah.
so okay. So now since we're doing that,
I don't know about that.
who?
Boat.
I don't know about that.
About
that. Eh? So who has the
least
biggest,
likable.
the least likable, biggest star?
Basketball.
It has to be right because I know people
Jason
that.
Tatum
be?
would be
They're-
the biggest star right now.
With,
maybe?
with like load management and
Well, I also
that whole
think,
thing.
yeah,
Like,
and then Steph
people
Curry.
don't really like
And
Joel Embiid.
LeBron's gotten so big that he gets turned into like people.
yeah, people
he's
don't like
polarizing.
LeBron.
There are a
But
lot
then-
of people out there that don't like LeBron.
But we're also getting into this thing now where we just don't like guys because they're good.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because I remember when this Chiefs run started, everybody liked the Chiefs. Now it's,
dude.
I'm so sick of the Chiefs, and Travis Kelce's trying to be happy, and I hate that he's
Yeah,
trying
but
to be happy with Taylor
I
Swift.
feel like that's
Nah.
I feel like that's just social media. Like you talk to people. Like I still kind of
That's-
like the Chiefs.
But it's okay. Here's another example, right? Nickelback. Everybody hates Nickelback.
Oh,
Why?
I thought you meant like when they play. Four
no.
corners.
Well, that's a Fangio thing. No,
Good for you.
but
No, in the formation.
Nickelback, the band. People hated Nickelback because the internet said you should hate Nickelback. But everybody bangs their songs when they're out,
Yeah.
when they're playing. Rockstar comes on the karaoke bar. Ooh, I'm singing.
Yeah, but you're kind of trolling it while singing it.
No, not really. I'm singing it wholeheartedly.
Really?
Yeah. Can I get the quesadilla?
No,
You know, like that.
Aerosmith, you're singing wholeheartedly.
Oh, well, you know that, baby. But I'm just saying, like, I think people. There's a lot of like mob
Imagine
mentality.
Dragons is another example of this.
I really don't like Imagine Dragons though.
Yeah,
Guys,
no, you don't have
I think it's
to.
very generic music.
But it's
Was that
an
like- was that a
example
trigger
of-
right there for you? You're
of
like,
a team.
yeah, I'm getting activated like the Winter Soldier. I hate him. Yeah,
But it's
but
an example of a band that everybody just kind of piled on of like, oh,
but because the
we don't
internet-
like them
because
and
the
so
internet
that's it.
told
Right.
them to.
Exactly.
we
You know,
like
so.
golfers less than we like NBA players.
Yes.
Trying to think
I
of
like
another-
golfers.
The top
I
of-
like some of these guys.
Yeah, I like
Thomas, like Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler seems like a cool
Yeah,
dude
you're right.
to hang out with.
I'm more
Like,
asking the question. I don't dislike any of those guys. I'm trying to think of. I guess maybe basketball is just clearly the answer.
I think it's narratively right.
Yeah,
it's
and-
because of like
What they
Taylor
do to
made a
your
good point.
team. I mean,
Jimmy Butler
Load
not helping.
management.
Not
Well,
helping.
yeah.
That
Well, but that's
likability.
it, right? Like load management, knowing what these guys want in their contracts.
Is it based off
like-
power? I mean, you
Yeah.
would think that quarterbacks have the most
It's
power
toxic.
in sports. Do NBA players have the most power in sports? Is there correlation between the power they have
Yeah.
and how likable they are?
Yeah, we don't like when labor gets power
it's
because
also-
we're
Look
labor
Look at
that
us
doesn't
getting
have power.
deep on Mystery Crate. Look where I brought us. How about
also,
me?
It's also like depending on
Thank
your
you.
fan.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Taylor.
It's dependent on your fanhood. Like if Jason Tatum played for anybody else besides the Celtics, I probably would like him a little bit more.
He
No.
Yeah,
He seems like a
Jason Tatum could play for my favorite team, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't
there's
like him
something
that much,
about
dude.
it.
He is so
but he doesn't
unlikable.
seem like he's an asshole. He just seems very like corny.
It's the way he jogs.
Yeah, it's just the way he like carries himself, and then like the whole like I wish I was Kobe type deal. Like I don't know, it comes off very like cringy.
You ever see
Not
the-
that I dislike him.
You see the guy on the internet that mimics the way like all these NBA players like run and
So
shoot.
good.
Oh man, the one of Tatum is so funny. The way he jogs.
because everything Tatum does looks like
Annoying.
it was engineered
Oh, yeah.
in a Nike lab. A Nike
nab. Working backwards.
I worked backwards on that one on a Nike lab. Like every single move.
Why did
that he
Taylor like that
makes
so much?
Is textbook.
He's like dying.
I just like that he misspoke.
you idiot.
Sit in the Stugotz chair, and that's what's gonna happen.
Anyway, all right, back to that room. Go ahead.
So I watched Tom Top Gun on Saturday.
That's how we're doing this today. Anytime we're done talking, back to you guys over there.
So on Sunday, I rewatched Top Gun, and it got me thinking like how cool it is.
The OG or Maverick?
No, the original. And I was like, man, I remember when I was a kid, before I knew what life really was about, man, being a fighter pilot looks awesome. And then I realized, okay, when I was a kid, it was just government propaganda for the military working against me. And then
jobs that look cool.
Yeah, when you're a kid, like you had like a job that was like, ooh, this job seemed awesome. Obviously, I didn't think about
man.
Yep.
Really?
Big time.
No
Dude,
way.
Hopping on the back of those cars.
The fireman does that too.
What up?
Mailman,
Let's move
same
on to the
deal.
next house.
No, I never thought mailman.
I thought it was so cool. They had the open,
mailman.
open doors on the side.
No, the thing about
I thought it
mailman,
was great.
Mailman was always portrayed as like getting chased by a dog in a neighborhood.
Yes.
So you're like, oh, this dork with his high
You know what?
socks.
Now
I know it's a good
Okay.
job.
I
But
lived
back
too
then, no.
close to a mailman. I had this is Sam,
Flew too
neighbor
close to
Sam,
the sun.
neighbor Sam. I got to see the dirty insides of a. Yeah, you don't want to be a. You don't want to be. You don't.
I
Want
think a magician is a good nomination for this category because like when you're young, you're like, ooh, magic, it's so
Yeah.
cool, and then you meet like someone who actually does magic for a career, and you're like, this is very.
Well, when you're older.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
It's
did go
very
to magic camp.
Well, but the thing is, when you're a kid, you think about like these cool jobs
Magic
where you
Johnson
think is a
over
cool job. You don't really think about the money.
Right.
It's just like to do this would be
No,
cool.
you want to be one of those guys that works at the hotel in Vegas. You ever been to those magic shops in Vegas?
Oh yeah.
I think it's like MGM Grand had one. Man, I remember I went to there. My parents, like bad parenting, brought me and my brother there before we were old enough to be in Vegas. It's actually not a terrible place for kids. They have cool
No,
pools.
it's actually- no, it
like
is.
fun
It's a good
pools.
place to bring
So we
kids.
did the way too young Vegas trip, and I remember just once I figured out they had a magic shop, I was just like,
That's it?
I was there for like 4 days straight.
Locked in.
Spent
Were
like
you more of
$100.
a card trick guy or an illusionist?
At one point, I had a whole bag.
Well, so you bought the kit.
I had a sack, and in it, I had a bunch of different tricks.
And a rabbit.
baby.
I had, I'm trying to think of my best tricks. I had a couple card tricks, but they were all just fake decks.
Why don't me and you try to learn like a couple
alert.
sleight of hand tricks, and then we'll show them off.
I've already on Mystery Crate spoiled how the handkerchief.
Yeah, I was so mad at
well,
you.
but also,
You guys didn't know that?
how
I
to
feel
make
like
the-
that's common knowledge.
what, that you stuff it down, stuff it
That's
behind
fake
your
thumb.
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
that's one that you can.
Thumb.
That magicians are willing to give that one away because it's like the most obvious one that's out there.
But I also like, so what I've learned lately, like you remember in, I don't know, you guys probably haven't seen this movie. Well, maybe you have. The newest Mission Impossible. There's a part where Tom Cruise makes a key disappear. I learned how to do that.
That's kinda awesome.
Yeah, so there's that one. I'm not going to reveal it because I don't want to give away the tricks. But there are a few sleight of hand.
So make the
things I
do the
wanna
trick
learn.
for us.
Okay, give me a second. You guys filibuster.
I think magic tricks are awesome.
This
not
kind
gonna
of
pretend.
reminded me of a conversation I've been having with my friends recently about good things that are horrible. And one of the ones I came up with was snow football. Good thing.
Oh.
Horrible.
Has nothing to do with magic though.
Hate snow football. I appreciate where you're going with this. I'm not going to shit on you while you're in that seat because of the PTSD of it all. But I'm done with snow football.
Is this
man.
things we think we like, but we don't actually?
Kinda.
Maybe.
It's kind of like that, but it's just like things that are good, but they're actually bad.
This is
Which
the witty. This is the witty take of he wants the game settled without the
No, I
elements.
agree. I actually agree with Woody wholeheartedly.
But the whole
now.
problem there is
McDonald's.
both teams are playing in the snow.
Yeah.
No, but it ruins it. Right, but it ruins the product
it's-
generally because both teams are going to have.
So
these-
the Eagles were just better that day at handling the elements,
Right, but
which
that-
they should get some kind of credit for.
or there could be no elements. Because
me,
Eagles
it's
also
just
beat the
aesthetic.
Rams by 17 in the Dome in Los Angeles.
Could you
So that's not a
imagine
very good
if
example.
in the Eastern Conference
Coming up
Finals
to defense.
between like the Heat and the Celtics, 2 games were played on a court on the beach in 75-degree weather, but then they went to Boston and it was snowing and they had to play basketball on a court outside.
Well, it's a different sport, Jeremy.
But no matter what,
Spurs no AC. But in that scenario, if the Heat earned home court advantage like Philadelphia did, then that's
No.
kind of part of the
Right.
game.
That's
No.
why the regular season should matter.
No,
We're
because
getting really deep into sports here.
everyone would be happy to play in the good weather. It would be better for everyone. It doesn't like the home team in the snow.
We are so
that's the
Floridians
thing-
down here. Like,
the,
this is-
the thing that, yeah, but the thing that I would say about this is like people act like the snow is some sort of home field advantage. It's not.
I
It's-
always say this about
it's
Buffalo.
It's just a bad thing for both teams.
Don't
And
they
you can
practice
build
in
your
it?
team.
They obviously practice in it way more.
They
than-
practice indoors. All those teams have indoor
No.
facilities
They don't
that they
practice-
practice
they don't
in.
know.
during the
practice
week.
for the
When
elements.
it's going to
I'm sure
snow,
they
when
do,
it's going to
but, like-
snow, they practice it. Kurt Warner said the same thing. He said the game is not the issue with playing in snow.
Right.
It's that they get to practice in the snow, and I can't possibly practice
And that's-
in the snow if I play in
What
the
did the
dome.
Dolphins
Kurt
do?
Warner was a domer his whole life, though, for the most part.
Well, that's
Until
his
he
whole-
got
no,
to the
that's what
Giants.
he's
What
saying. He
happened to the
wants the dome.
Dolphins the
Golden
very first
Domer.
possession in their first cold weather game this season? Muffed punt.
Yep.
Because how often is the Dolphins punt returner practicing that?
But even
you're
without
right.
the practice, I do think like the game, while sure technically there could be a team with a home field advantage, whatever, they would still have a home field advantage if there was no snow.
Well, this is what I always say about Buffalo. They lose a home game every other year because of a bad snow game. They have a
Right.
bad snow. Oh, we're getting a magic trick here. Sorry.
Is his thumb about to take your thumb off?
Whoa!
I didn't see the start of the trick. I mean,
How did he
geez.
do that? Mike Fuentes just made a key disappear.
Yeah,
He was
clearly-
holding it in his right. Whoa! It's back.
I mean, you did it all like,
One more time.
yeah.
All right,
there it
audio
is.
audience.
All right, the key's in his hand. He's holding it.
He's put his left hand over.
I've got a back view
He's-
of this.
Bro.
I'll,
Oh,
I see it
saw
behind your
the
thumb.
camera
I'll-
did not help you
I'll
there.
spoil it a bit.
It's behind his thumb.
The view from the back angle does not help him.
Usually it does.
Yeah, that's why the camera's in front.
Anyway.
Over to that room.
Yeah,
Back
you
to
guys.
snow football for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Buffalo. They lose a home game like every other year, seemingly,
Ethan,
and they have
Ethan,
this.
stop. Too many sports.
No, he's been
All
doing
right.
it.
No, he
Nah, he was
I'm
doing
fine
when
with
you
him.
weren't here.
We're
I'm fine with him
cooking right now.
talking, but like
Enough.
we said we were doing much sports before, and now we're
What's
back on
another
sports
thing
again.
we
We went
like
from,
that
we
is
went
not
from
good?
dream jobs, and
I'll find
Ethan
you one.
said, "I've got something kind of related."
Well,
And
it was
took
okay,
it
hold on.
somewhere
No,
completely
Fuentes was talking about
NFL quarterback
Fuentes
ball?
was talking about jobs that sound good but aren't. This is something that we all think is good, but isn't actually good.
Do you
like
have any
the
other
snow.
examples?
I'll find you one.
Thank you.
Eating fast food.
Wait, hold on.
Ooh,
So,
good
so
one.
where were you
Things that
getting
feel
at?
good and like are awesome.
Well, that's
but
like
then-
instant gratification.
Wait. How did we get here? When I was preparing my elusive magic trick. We were talking about good jobs, and Ethan said a job that's really good. And how did
We ended up in a
I
space
said
where
magic, and then
what
you went
he
to
was
do magic.
talking about after we were talking
Now
about
he's like, "Can I get
magic
some credit for the magic
was
thing? That was
that
pretty good."
was that this reminded him of something he's been talking about with his friends, which are things that we think are good but are actually not good. And so snow football was the example, and then we got into that conversation. I've asked for another example.
This goes back to the thing that I had a long time ago, the sleep to nap ratio. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you love the snow, and then as you get older, you realize, wow, snow sucks because now I got to shovel it. It's wet.
Now you love naps.
I'm sliding. And then when you're a kid, you hate naps. Naps
like
are terrible.
that.
They waste time. But when you get older, wow, love a nap.
Good
not just-
shift.
it's
See,
not-
I like
have another
that's
nominee.
one.
And by the way, it's not just naps that kids hate. They don't like sleep at all. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Even at night, like it's like time for bed. It's like a dreaded thing.
I'm not
every night.
tired.
It's FOMO.
It's like
You never
Yeah.
wanted to be the kid that was tired.
my wife is always just like, you know how much I love sleep. I would love to go to sleep right now at 8:30.
But when you're a kid, you fight it to the death.
Yeah.
But you will like sit there on the couch and you'll pull the whole. No.
She's just discovered
still that
time.
way,
She's just
unfortunately.
discovered time. She's like, by the week, she's trying to push her bedtime back by like 5 minutes. She's like, first it was 8:15, then it was 8:30. Now she's big on 8:45. She's like, please, can I just stay up till 8:45?
I was always pushing it. I was also, Billy was talking earlier this week, I think, about how he doesn't have any FOMO at all. I could not be more the opposite. I was that way in my own household, where when I was a kid and I would be in my room doing homework, if I heard my parents talking to my brother in the living room, I felt this like compulsive need to
Really?
just like get up and go do my homework in the living room because I didn't want to miss out on anything.
I don't feel it with like my own, like my parents
felt it
talking
with
and
every. I
stuff.
mean, maybe not as much anymore.
I feel some FOMO.
I'm
Fuentes, you a
I'm
FOMO
full
guy?
of FOMO.
Big FOMO guy?
My whole social life is based on FOMO.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like,
like-
I don't actually
Kind of
wanna
the
go
only
anywhere.
reason I leave my house.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, that's a good way to
You
put
don't
it.
actually want to go anywhere. You just don't want to miss
No,
anything.
I'm a big like I just booked a trip with my friends to Vegas for one of my friends' 40th birthday. I just booked it yesterday, and I'm already dreading going. It's just the way I don't like to plan things out that far in advance because I always feel like something's gonna happen that's gonna ruin everything, and then I'm out $1,500.
Everyone's kind of painted you as like the guy that's negative on things.
I'm not negative. I'm skeptical. Okay, that's true. I'm just.
I went to the Heat game yesterday simply out of FOMO. Like I pretty
Didn't
much
have to be there.
I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't have to be at that game, but because I was worried that something might happen that was interesting with Jimmy Butler, and then nothing. He didn't
like
even
Jimmy's-
speak to
it's
the
like
media.
Jimmy's last game or
But
whatever,
right,
yeah.
and because of that, I was like, well, I have to be there. I can't miss out. And maybe that's PTSD because of the fact that I was given the opportunity to go during Dwayne Wade's final season.
Yeah.
I was given the opportunity to go to a game where I had gone to shoot around in the morning and talked to Steph Curry and Steve Kerr about Wade's career.
The
We were
Wade
doing
game.
this big-
That game?
Yeah. And I was offered to go with a media credential, and I was like, "Well, I've got a lot of laundry to catch up on. Like,
You missed
I'm
that
going to watch
the-
this game from
the
home."
famous game-winning shot.
His final
Like the triple
moment,
clutch, like that, like-
yeah, the like triple clutch hit
Yeah.
3 against the Warriors, and I was home doing laundry, and my brother looked at me and just goes, "Man, you're an asshole."
Think about how different your life would be if you would have been there.
It could be very. I don't know how different
don't
it would
know.
be. I'm a huge believer in the butterfly effect.
Yeah, I hate that movie.
Well, I mean,
Not a
forget
good
the
movie.
That movie is so much darker when
It
you
is.
watch it back as an adult.
So dark.
Yeah.
I watched it like a decade ago, so a few months ago. I was like, let me turn this thing on. I forgot about the first half hour of that thing.
Yeah,
It's
where
so
basically
depressing.
it's
Where
like
it's just
Ashton
like
Kutcher having a drug rip, like
A
the whole
guy
time.
like
Yeah.
being terrible to his daughter, just terrible.
Good things that are horrible. Maction.
Okay, I see where you're at
All
on that
right.
now.
I'm
Now
gonna-
it's starting to make sense to me.
We're gonna keep this going, but I'm gonna be thinking of what you're talking about here, trying to come up with some ideas.
This episode of Mystery Crate is brought to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Radio professional.
Fast food was a good contribution to that
Yes, thank
because
you.
we love it, but
Yeah.
it's not good.
I would put cereal. I'm just going food things.
No, cereal's great.
Cereal's overrated.
What are your top 3
No,
cereals?
let me tell you
what are your
something.
top 3
No,
cereals?
no, let me tell you something. Before we do the top 3 cereals, which I
Golden
love,
Grams.
there is nothing.
I can't
that,
hear you, dude.
Dude,
Oh, someone's
there is
talking.
nothing that you fucking asshole. There's nothing that hits more consistently than nighttime cereal.
Well,
The
that's
best.
because you're stoned.
Nighttime cereal is stoned or not stoned. Nighttime cereal is undefeated. Undefeated.
I
Do you ever
just-
have cereal for dinner?
Not for dinner, but I have it as dessert.
Yeah, as a dessert.
Great
Yo,
It's
if you're having breakfast for dinner and you go cereal, that's like as
Sometimes-
lazy as you can.
Sometimes I'll have a light
wanna
dinner.
That's not breakfast for dinner. That's just a lazy.
That's just
ass.
lazy.
You're right. You're right.
Sometimes I'll have a light dinner, and then to just cap it off a little
Yes.
bit, bowl of cereal.
That's what I did yesterday. I had an egg, rice, a little bit of turkey, and I'm like, I can fit a bowl of Cheerios in. Did it.
Who would be your
egg?
first pick in a cereal draft?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Frosted Flakes.
Too much.
That's what we were looking for. That was the number one.
Top 3
I think
cereals.
CTC.
No, cinnamon toast
CTC?
crunch. It just gets a little too soggy too fast.
It gets
Fruity
soggy,
Pebbles?
Yeah.
It's too. That cinnamon is like
It's too much.
like slaps
That's
you in
why
the
Golden
face.
Grams. I'm a Golden
Oh,
Grams
Golden
guy.
Grams are good.
Golden
I'm a
Grams.
Golden Grams guy
Golden Grams are
specifically
good.
because I think that both the texture and the taste are stronger than Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I don't even remember the last time I saw cinnamon grams in the store.
Well, they don't exist.
That's
Golden
what I'm-
Grams?
Golden grams. Sorry.
Cinnamon grams.
I'm just thinking cinnamon toast crunch.
Gotcha.
That's the crossover.
I can. I can.
Overrated. Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
100%. Fruit
It's
Loops
only
too.
the mushrooms.
Yeah. The
What? The
marshmallows.
mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms, man. Let me get that.
That seat, Jeremy. Remember?
Yeah, man. I remember.
I'll tell you what, it's thrilling when somebody messes up in here.
Isn't it?
Isn't it the best?
We're terrible people.
They really are, because really, you're only thrilled because you get to point out you're like all jumping on somebody to get it in.
That's the
I want to be the guy who points out your fuck
the
up.
culture we've created around here.
I know. What a healthy place to work. You know.
He said mushrooms and my ears perked up.
I watched all of you physically jump up in your
Because
chairs the moment he did it.
You want to get me excited about some Lucky Charms? Switch the marshmallows for mushrooms.
Oh, I'm in.
Have you guys tried the
I'll be
Kelsey
seeing rainbows,
mix?
all right.
The Kelsey ones?
Yeah, it's like
I haven't,
Lucky
no.
Charms,
I've
Cinnamon
seen
Toast
them
Crunch, and Reese's
at
Puffs or
Publix,
something.
though. They're
It's doing too
I'm
much.
willing to give it a
They're
shot.
available.
It's doing too much.
Got to get hot.
Did you guys
Diabetes in a bowl.
Did you guys ever want to be an astronaut?
No,
I'm
but
scared
I
of
have a
space.
friend.
Wait,
I
just
have a
no?
friend from college.
I thought all kids wanted to be.
Salute to
astronauts.
Marley. Marley,
Never.
if you're out there watching, salute. My friend Marley legitimately wants to be an astronaut. And I used to introduce, because I thought it was so crazy because every
Yeah.
kid grew up, oh, I want to be an astronaut. But she was like 22 years old and legitimately still, I mean, she's
And
older than that now, but
do we
she
think she's
legitimately wants to be an
Is she
astronaut.
gonna
like
do
she
it?
was an aerospace engineer. I don't know if she's going
So you're here
on to
talking.
be-
Set
Wait,
this up.
wait.
Like, I hope
But
she
anyway,
didn't
I used
fail.
to introduce her as my friend
Yeah.
Marley that wants to be an astronaut.
Is she an astronaut?
Yeah.
Not currently, no.
Okay, but she at least had steps towards it.
Sounds like
you're
she's
here
a
talking
Correct.
shit about her not making it.
No,
She's
I'm
an
not talking
astrophysicist,
shit
like-
about Marley at all. I love
Hi,
Marley.
As he
I'm
said on
just
the front
saying
end,
that-
shout out if you're watching.
Correct. I'm just saying
Salute
that
to Marley.
I
Yeah, salute to Marley.
I
Thank you.
thought it was always funny that like
Bob
you
Marley.
grow up and you have a friend that actually wants to be an astronaut. She's named after Bob Marley.
Nico Marley.
Okay, thank you for the fun fact.
I've contemplated career changes at times and being like, maybe I should just go to law school. But it feels like there's got to be a certain point if you want to be an astronaut. Like, hey,
Yeah.
In my
We-
experience,
Well,
I don't know if
window.
that's true. Isn't there a bunch of guys that like are recently getting to that status that are like going to try to go up in one of these Elon Musk shit rockets? I don't know. Like I feel
Rockets.
like yeah. Ooh.
in my experience, most people hate like when people like tell you what they want to be too often.
Ziggy Marley.
Wait, what? Oh, okay.
He's doing a thing.
Yeah.
Usually
betcha.
If you guys are gonna sit in here, you gotta be with the bit.
Guys, I made a whole career over faking enthusiasm about shit, all right? And you're going to have to step it up in that back row.
Yeah, well, because Jeremy stepped out for a second doing God knows what, and he's usually the one that follows me on the.
I also didn't even know we were starting. So.
Yeah.
No, way to have your head in the game.
It's normally with
Presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Championship weekend in the NFL. We're gonna do. Let me see. Patrick Mahomes under. There's Izzy. Izzy can go in there, by the way. They're going to do Patrick Mahomes under 251.5 passing yards. I feel like he hasn't really having to throw the ball a lot. There's a lot of dink and dunks, and they really want to run it. Then we're going to do the Washington Commanders +6. Last time they played, the Commanders won by 2, but Jalen Hurts was hurt in that game. That's the game he got concussed. And then for Bills and Chiefs, we're actually going to take the under at 47.5. I feel like me and Taylor were talking about this, and those teams tend to want to get into shootouts, but they never really happen. Mike Malley also agreed. And that's going to be You Betcha. At the time of recording, the page isn't loading. So we're just going to say it's -110 for the first one, which is under 251.5 yards of Patrick Mahomes, -108 for Commanders +6, and -110 for 47.5. And that's going to be the parlay for You Betcha on NFL Championship weekend.
You betcha.
Now, during the break, someone did something to me, and they did this thing where you say something extremely offensive, but you couch it on the front end with no offense.
Was it Tony?
No, it was Malley.
It's called the Jay Billis.
Saying,
No offense, you're an idiot.
No offense, Chris. But if you were my lawyer, I would think I was fucked.
It's true.
It's just a rude thing to say to somebody, and I don't disagree with them.
I mean,
But it was just something that didn't need to be said. We were off the air. Jeremy went to go pee. We were enjoying a nice little break in here.
Go pee-pee.
And Malley thought, you know what? I'm going to tell Chris something that he doesn't know.
I don't mean it as a sign of disrespect. Like, you agree with me, so I
do.
feel like...
But it was unnecessary.
All right, my bad then. I mean, there aren't a lot of people at this company that
you
I
would
would
say
look
that
at.
about.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also
Who would
offensive.
you trust?
Yeah,
'Cause
who
I'm
would
going
you,
Izzy.
Who would you most want to be your lawyer?
Izzy's
I think
a strong starting
Stugotz
point,
could lie his way out of anything, so that's
you have
actually
a
not
terrible judge.
shot.
Yeah, you're
Who to choose there.
Stu might be my choice because no offense there, Ethan.
Really?
But by the way, that back row, amazing back there.
Yeah.
Taylor, Mike, and Ethan. Yeah, I don't know
Future
if I can
LeBatard
tell a
show.
lie. And if you're guilty, yeah, you're screwed because I don't know if I'll be your lawyer.
I'm trying to think who I would want to be my lawyer.
I was president of my debate team, though. I should have started there.
The people that are here.
probably be better than most of us, Izzy.
You know what, Chris? I'm going to pick you because I figured maybe by some kind of osmosis, you've picked up how to become a lawyer through being with your mom.
I do know how to, file some things with the courts.
You just go up and just be all rizzing up the jury, just like lean on there, and just
Likable.
start talking to
You gotta
them
be
the
a
same way you
gotta
would.
be
Getting his
likable.
shoulders bouncing like a Rodney Dangerfield thing going
And I
on
will
up there.
say, my mother, one of the great defense attorneys in Fort Lauderdale.
That's what I'm saying. So
I'm
I
not
hope-
even that is not actually a joke.
So I would hope that some of that rubbed off on you.
The apple fell far from the tree, boys.
Well, hopefully not too far because my life's on the line. All right. So I have a question.
I would just get my mom. Can my mom? Does that count?
No,
my mom just be your lawyer?
That's the thing. You're the closest thing to your mom, so that's what I want.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about movies out there, like we often do out here, and we started talking about heist movies, and I thought, who would be in certain roles if we decided to put a heist crew together with people in this office?
This is an incredible idea.
Yeah. So I put together a list, and this is what we need. We need guys in the vans. Those are the
I
tech
can't
guys.
believe that we've waited this long in a mystery crate to do
I,
this.
wait,
have a
I,
whole
wanted,
thing
I
here.
wanted the full segment. Yeah. So
This is great.
We need 2 guys in a van. Those are the tech guys. Okay. So we need 2 of those. We need a distraction guy. We need a vault guy who's someone that gets inside the vault. We need crowd
already got
control.
I already got my role.
Then we need a brute, somebody who's not scared to rough somebody up. All right. Then we need a mastermind. We need a lookout, a getaway driver. And then we need a person we need to send somewhere else. There's always someone who's a loose end that can ruin the whole thing, so we got to send them out. I'm going to pencil in Rose right away there.
Yes, that's
So-
a good one.
Yeah, so we're going to pencil
where
in
you
Rose.
send them, he or she has to accidentally become a distraction.
Correct,
right?
yes, because it's like a distraction, like away. Now all of a sudden, all the
lot.
cops are going over there, so we're putting Rose right away.
Where are you seeing me at?
Yeah, well
Although
then,
Rose might be too obvious.
yeah, well, that's true. But then number 10 is the pickpocket sleight of hand guy.
We've
There's
gotta-
always a guy who touches somebody, gets the access cards out.
We're avoiding like
I love
actual
Izzy.
skills.
Izzy
here,
just
right?
wrote down the name Rose on a sheet of paper.
We're avoiding real skills, right?
You know, on
Because
the-
obviously
there's
the
a
tech
sheet here we
guys would
have.
be our actual tech.
No,
guys.
Danny GQ is the tech guy.
Danny GQ is one of the tech
One of the guys in the
Yeah,
van for sure.
obviously.
Has to be.
All right.
Danny
Because
GQ,
it's not just that he knows tech; it's also his personality fits the tech guy in the van.
correct.
Perfectly.
And he looks like a tech guy.
There couldn't be more of a distraction guy than me.
Yeah, well, that was inevitable.
I disagree. I
Hey,
think
what's
Billy's the distraction guy because he can talk to anybody.
That's
and,
true.
Right up until he needs to not talk to
But
anybody
also,
anymore.
Billy has the vibe where someone might just be like, "What's up with this guy?" Whereas I'm just every man. Hey, man, what's up, dude? Oh, can you believe that Jets game?
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, I am distracting you because I am just hitting you with jolly and just like,
I don't know.
the other shout was Thomas.
As the distraction guy?
Yeah, because Thomas
Salesman.
and his old missionary work, he can go talk to anybody about
it
anything.
especially helps when we reference people no one knows. That's
I've
good.
got Thomas's crowd control personally, but
Crowd control. Why? Because he's imposing?
yeah.
Okay.
All right, I've got my two guys in
I'd
the
put him
van.
as the brute.
two guys in a
Who are the
band?
two guys in the van for you?
Because they have to have a little bit of a chemistry together, right?
Yeah, a little tech
Occasionally.
savvy.
I think it's you and Lewis. Fuentes and Lewis is my two guys in the van.
So the first time I ran this idea by people, a lot of people said me and my brother, just because we know each other so well.
The
And it's
brothers
a
Fuentes.
shout out to Ocean's 11, where there's two brothers that like always mess with each other, but they do a lot of stuff for the heist.
Right.
But I think GQ has to be in there.
Who can work a pair of binoculars?
The lookout.
I'd see Taylor being a good binocular.
Fuentes-
See, I've got
Fuentes
Taylor
has
as
a
the
keen eye.
pickpocket.
Taylor's the pickpocket. He is slick.
The thing about
Sleight of
Taylor
hand.
is I'll tell him to look out, and then he'll start giggling about old UNC players or who should be in the Hall of Fame and who hasn't, get distracted, and then we're all fucked.
That's why pickpocket sleight of hand is
You
perfect.
see who's
It's one
playing
move.
second base for the Yankees this year?
Exactly.
Oh, I just stole your keys.
Exactly.
I created a different role that I would want.
Okay.
It's the guy you lower or the guy who avoids the lasers.
Love that.
I mean, Ethan.
No.
See,
Ethan's
I
a-
nominated
that's the
myself
vault
for the
guy.
vault guy
That's the
because
vault
I'm the
guy.
little guy.
Ethan's a strong.
I can go up in the vent. I can go up in the
Taylor,
vent.
Ethan.
Taylor,
Yeah,
with that
I'm the little
comment,
guy.
you just became the person we need to send somewhere else.
Wow.
With that comment, yeah. So it's you and
Mally
Rose
had a
there.
nomination
I
for
would be
somebody.
better than Ethan at avoiding.
Oh wow! I don't. Ethan's so tiny.
Beneath the laser.
Mally has a nomination for somebody we could need to send somewhere else.
Good
I
setup
just
for
said-
Mally there.
Oh,
Ethan.
Tony. I think Tony just needs to be as far away from the actual
Yeah.
theft
Really?
as
No.
physically
a little
possible.
heavy-handed.
Yeah, I've got him as the brute also.
I mean, we're
That's
acting,
three for
right?
brute.
Yeah, we're acting.
He's the brute.
Tony's a brute.
Yeah, I've got him as the brute. So what does that mean? So right now
Define
we
the
have
brute?
We have Danny GQ.
The brute is like a guy who's not scared to mess somebody up if they got to. You know.
So is like Cougs our mastermind here?
Definitely.
really in this
No
office, Cougs. I was gonna say Pablo if he went to New York.
Well, technically.
Yeah.
I do like Pablo as mastermind.
As mastermind?
Because he will recruit as many other minds and just claim it's his idea.
That's-
right?
exactly.
So, hey, Zuckerberg, what do you think of this?
He'll
Yeah, he's gotta be the
crowdsource
guy.
everybody else's ideas, put them together as his
What the
mastermind.
hell's crowd control guy doing?
That's what I'm questioning.
The crowd
Who is
control
that?
guy is the talker who's saying, "Get your hands on the thing," right? And then when they don't pay attention, he calls over Tony. Tony messes him up.
To be the brute.
So he's a guy. He's the first guy in. He's a guy. Everybody, this is a robbery.
Oh,
All right?
I'd like to
get
be
your
that
hands
guy.
down.
No, I don't have the.
You don't have.
I don't
it.
have that in me.
You don't have it.
I would back out at the last second.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Are we sure? Are we prepared? I'm not doing that. Let's do this tomorrow, guys.
I think the
Let's just go
lookout.
eat. Let's go out to eat."
The lookout has to be Stugotz.
He's
think so?
He's like so small.
Oh, he
Would
does.
point out the people. He'd be like,
And he-
"Hey, buddy," and he'll say his name. He'll
And
say
if
his
he's just
nickname.
and if he's just out there smoking heaters, it's normal.
Exactly.
Stu
And
Gotts
he
could
can-
be a good distraction, sleight of hand guy because
No,
he
he's-
could charm
two different
somebody,
guys.
talk to him.
That's ridiculous, Ethan.
I think Stu's the lookout. He's just out. He's just the guy out there always smoking heaters.
The shortest lookout in the history of lookouts.
Well, hopefully they're not coming in from the air.
Oh wait, I know who the getaway driver has to be. Dan, right?
I was gonna say Roy.
Oh, Roy's got a lead foot.
Yeah.
Is that why?
Yeah.
I just
Dude.
thought because he's got the convertible and he's just notable in his car.
you gotta
and-
hop in.
and
It's
he doesn't
easy-
have to
easy
say
access.
anything.
Roy-
he just
Roy-
shows up. Hey, look, that's
Roy,
Dan.
Roy got pissed one day because I called him the Intimidator and he got mad at me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So is
I
Roy.
do like what you're saying with Dan, where
Yeah.
it's like with that convertible, all you got to do, you don't even have to open a door.
Guys,
you can just run and dive in.
Guys, before we get carried away with Dan, Dan's obviously the mark.
If you've been
He's the guy we're
involved,
stealing
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
if you've been involved in a hit and run car accident with a coworker, then you're our getaway driver, and that's where Roy's.
That's
from.
Roy.
He hit Billy, right?
Roy hit Billy's car and then tried to flee.
Is there anybody? Roy did?
Yeah, in the old Clevelander parking lot.
Huh.
Billy was like, "Wait, are you just gonna leave?"
So good.
Like, yeah, I got to pick up my
That was the
daughter.
last time Billy ever parked in one of those corners because you wrap around.
Is there anybody in the office who is an unnecessary hugger? Because that could be a sleight of hand person. Is it me?
No. You're like if you can't see who it is,
Right.
it might be you.
No, I'm not the
Who hugs me the most?
I'm a hugger.
Ethan's a hugger.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm a hugger.
who's a hugger? Ethan or Lewis?
Yeah,
Lewis would actually.
Yeah,
be
Lewis is
Lewis
perfect.
is a hugger.
Because
Glad
Lewis
everyone's
is
getting a
slick.
peek behind
All
the
right,
curtain.
we're gonna have to go Fuentes brothers for two guys in the van and move Lewis to
I'm not gonna lie.
sleight of hand
I did not
guy.
see Gino making this team.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
How about Gino?
Honestly, it's probably more likely that it's me and
He works
GQ in the
hard.
van.
You
to
got-
be
for
honest.
sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because Gino works hard, but
GQ.
he's-
Yo,
yeah, he's very
GQ, we
stable.
need him. Like he's our tech guy.
Yeah, for sure.
He's in the
that
van. Robert and GQ are in the van.
I kind of like Robert and GQ
Yeah.
as like the buddies back there.
I
Like,
kind of want to nominate Fuentes. By the way, Robert GQ, great buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
There's
All right.
potential there.
I got a
But
new getaway driver.
I like Fuentes as the getaway driver because this guy has a great sense of direction.
I
And
do.
he can just maneuver us out of anywhere, get us around traffic, whatever.
I
Boom.
do know where I'm going.
My getaway driver is just for looks. Again, I don't know why I'm thinking of convertible. You probably want some cover in case people start shooting at you. Are people going to be shooting at us? I don't know. Jess, in a convertible with flowing blonde hair,
Yeah, with like
laughing,
shades on.
occasionally sneezing. I think she's my.
I think
getaway
that's a good
driver.
idea. I've noticed no one's named me for anything.
you're also the mark, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know.
You're the brute.
I mean, you're certainly not the proof.
Well, I mean,
Some would say you could be the distraction guy
gonna say
because
distraction
you never
guy.
stop talking.
You can
Yeah,
chat
but I
everybody up.
wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I
Break
wonder
out
who
into
would say
song.
that.
People
Who would say that?
I think a key
Weird.
component of the distraction guy is knowing the exact point at when they can stop talking to the other person, which is why I think it's Billy, because Billy can just end a conversation
Yeah,
like that.
That's true.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be Billy.
okay, so
No
right,
further
so right now I
questions.
got in the van locked in. We got Robert and GQ. We got Jeremy as a distraction guy.
And we got Billy as a distraction guy.
You know what? We got two distraction guys.
Thanks.
You can play off each other.
Guess I'm not going to be
Yeah, I thought it
involved
was
in
you
this.
too.
I
We
mean,
got Vault guy is Ethan. Vault guy is Ethan.
The mastermind has to be a surprise. Like the mastermind has to be
Somebody
like
you wouldn't
Lucy.
expect.
no
Yeah.
offense, but it would never be me, right, Mally?
Ooh, that'd be a big
Definitely
mastermind.
not. That'd be
Yeah,
a
the
terrible.
mastermind.
The people that say no offense know exactly what they're
Thank
doing.
you. Thank you, Taylor. And that was the point.
Yeah.
So no spot for me on here. Cool.
No, well, the Vault guy is Ethan.
What about like number 11, the guy that just picks up food for everyone?
Yeah,
For,
orders,
like,
orders
for the,
pizzas.
for the
Yeah.
meetup spot after. Like I'll have like 6 bags of like
I'd like to join you in
Tijuana
that.
flats. Like, hey guys, how'd we do? And I have the food, and I'm like,
Yeah, no, I think this is a good space for
Sneaky.
you. Yeah, for sure.
Sneaky mastermind can kind of be like the smiling face.
I think
Kirsten.
I think Cody can do crowd control if he has brutes.
We have introduced a lot of names.
Yeah,
to the
I was going to say
audience.
the mastermind can't be somebody the audience is seeing
Yeah.
for the first time.
Although
Yeah.
Kirsten
But
was on Mystery Crate last week.
That's
Totally great
the
story.
mastermind is the man behind the curtain.
No, exactly.
Or
the
woman.
thing is-
Mastermind,
but what
man
you-
or woman
But what
behind
you're
the curtain.
doing is you're missing the pivotal twist that makes it a good movie because it has to be someone they didn't think would be it the whole time. So actually, I like Chris Cody as a mastermind.
yeah.
It was our oath the whole time.
That would be an upset, right, Mally? I don't even think
They did read that
Taylor.
book on leadership.
I would want Taylor to be like the getaway driver, but he doesn't have a license.
If the
This
getaway
isn't-
car is a scooter,
I
got you.
I got you.
Incognito.
Unless, of course, his condo association got there first. Then he doesn't have it anymore.
stolen.
Yeah.
Is the mastermind that guy who was tricking Kirsten with the spider on her foot last week? Or
He's the Kaiser Soze. He's the guy that walks away with a limp, and then when he turns the corner, boom, walking
right.
fine.
Ultimately,
Yeah.
it was him and all along.
I don't like that guy, so I'm not going to include him in our game.
I changed my
I mean, we
brute.
shouldn't like that guy, guys.
Yeah. Huh?
Who's your
Roy.
brute?
Brutus Roy.
Roy
Like,
is
is he
my
skinny?
brute. Like he doesn't have to hit somebody; he can just hit him with some hard words.
But you don't think Roy is a
Yo,
perfect
mama.
baby driver type, where he just sits there listening to his music? God knows what he listens to, like 1960s blues or whatever. And then all of a sudden, like it's playing, and then he gets in the car, and then emotionless, he's just driving.
I don't know. I've got a joke here. I can't tell, but I think Jess and Lucy in a car together as a getaway
Good
driver is a
idea.
nice little surprise. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I kind of want to hear the joke.
No.
And tell us off air.
It has
Yeah,
to
can we
do
hear it
with
off air?
Roy getting
How about this?
pulled over.
No, this is good.
It's probably not. It's probably not. There's probably a lot of eyes on Roy if he's behind the wheel
That's
already.
a good point.
There it is.
That's not even a joke. It's just life.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I was going to suggest we
unfortunate bit of
turn off
society.
our 3 mics in here, and you guys watch him tell us the joke.
Oh well, yeah, I get it. That would have been good.
Fun.
Not great for the audio
You guys
audience.
want to play
but
charades?
That'd be good for the audio.
also not
audience,
great for the
sure.
audio audience. No,
Two
stop.
words.
Oh,
Movie.
movie.
Nah, this
Ocean's
that was fun. I got you guys right in. Hook, line, and sinker.
So we need a crowd control.
It was the mask.
I thought we had Pablo as crowd control.
I thought we had him as master. Well, I switched Pablo to
I feel like
Chris.
we got a good grasp on
I'm
this.
just missing. On my chart, I'm only missing crowd control, which I guess I can put Thomas because he'd walk in and he'd be like,
Someone else no one's
"Hey
heard of."
everyone, No, everybody knows who Thomas is. He was in one thing.
It's a good
He was like,
Thomas.
everyone, I swear. I'm trying to think of one of his awful
It's not a
sports
bad
takes.
Thomas.
It's not a great one.
It's a solid Thomas.
Tony Shalhoub is the greatest actor I've ever seen. He would just, and then
He's
everybody
a
would think it's
solid
such a
foundation.
stupid
He
thing.
does kind of sing-song things.
That
He
is an
does.
excellent Thomas. I got to say, crowd control. Who is more of the sort of the mastermind of the groups here? It's Mike Ryan. Mike Ryan.
that's
with all the
right.
group
Forgot about Mike
chats.
Ryan.
It's got to be Mike Ryan for crowd control.
I like that one.
Okay, so I'm just going to fire off what I have written down real quick. Robert and GQ in the van. Distraction guys, Jeremy and Billy. Ethan's our vault guy because he's so tiny. Crowd control, Mike Ryan. Our brute is Tony Kaladiud. Our mastermind, the man behind the curtain, Chris Cote.
Give us about 4 to 5 months. We will find a way to make this into some sort of video.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
promise you
And
that.
then, our lookout is Stu, always smoking heaters. Our getaway driver is a combination of me and Roy. The person we need somewhere else is Rose and Taylor. And then the pickpocket sleight of hand is Lewis and also Jess.
Why is that the most insulting one of the list? The person we need
Just
somewhere.
get out.
Get out.
Yeah,
of
just
here,
get out.
Just
Rose
leave.
and Taylor.
Because you're going to do something.
Les
I'm not
Taylor.
getting cast in this movie. I could already tell.
Yeah, you can be like observer number 5 or something. Whatever it
I
is.
had a cousin. Well, I still have this cousin. But he
did you
moved
do
to
to him?
Los Angeles to try to become an actor. And he said he was like short, spastic, still a short, spastic.
What restaurant are you working at now?
Just use
He moved.
Okay.
But every time he would go to an audition for the short spastic role, he would lose it every time to the same person. And he was
McLovin?
like, every time he was like, okay, this is just getting ridiculous. We show up to the same audition. He gets it every time. Charlie Day.
No way.
I mean,
I don't care.
My
how
cousin was
good
in
your
Super
cousin
Troopers.
was.
My cousin was in
oh,
Super Troopers.
I can't pull over any
Yes,
further.
yes.
He's
the one who
he's the
did
same
I've already
one.
pulled over.
This is the same cousin that dated a celebrity, right?
Mandy Moore.
There you go.
Can't pull
What?
over any further.
Mandy Moore came to a Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's the main character. in your
I
family.
need to learn Mandy
was
more
like-
about that experience.
My cousin was like, hey, everybody be normal. Mandy Moore's coming to Christmas. People couldn't have been less normal.
All right, meow.
obviously, it's Mandy Moore.
All right, meow.
You guys want to do some unpopular opinions really quick?
Yeah.
Sure.
Stuffed crust pizza is disgusting.
You can shut your mouth.
I would not know.
It's good.
I don't know that I've ever had stuffed crust.
Properly rated.
Yeah.
Tends to be a little greasy.
Isn't it all greasy?
That's what you're signing up for.
Bob Greasy.
The worst Italian food take that I see on here is that spaghetti and meatballs is way better than bolognese. Give me a good bolognese.
Oh, so much better.
Give me the bolognese.
You get meat in every bite.
Mally, I don't think you're allowed to be that dismissive as you were of Jeremy's joke right there.
Or
I was just laughing that he's been
hard
doing it the
dismiss.
entire
Like, that
time.
was a
I thought you
shaking
were
of
going to
the
say
head.
you're not allowed to say what he said to me during that break, and I agree.
Oh, that too.
Chris, I'm sorry, Chris. I guess I really hurt your feelings. Bro. My bad.
Was it not on air?
Now it's just a thread. No,
No, it wasn't on air.
What was it?
Well, now it's on air.
Well, now I need to know.
Wait, I said it already.
Yeah, he said
was
it
it?
on air.
He said he'd be a terrible lawyer.
Yeah, Chris would be a terrible.
Where we
lawyer.
started.
I thought you called him an idiot or something.
I mean,
I mean,
That
essentially.
that is
yeah,
actually
yeah,
what he did.
But that's not being a terrible lawyer doesn't mean you're an idiot.
Guys, we don't have to stay
Thanks,
bogged down. I was
Fuentes.
just doing it. I was just doing a callback thing. Like
I'm trying to help
Wade
you,
Boggs.
Chris.
Yeah,
God
I need
damn,
help.
bro.
One of the unpopular opinions I like here is falling asleep during a movie doesn't make it bad. It just means you're tired. I have a personal anecdote with this. Shutter
course you
Island.
do.
Please share.
Shutter Island. I had gone skiing and we
Shut your
watched
mouth.
Shutter Island after skiing, and it's a great movie. Absolutely super intense.
I got you back, Mally.
Yeah.
Did I
Super intense movie, great movie.
I
Could not stay awake.
Would you say
could
it
not
made
stay
you
awake.
shut your eyes?
Yeah.
Did I ever show you my limited fake Leonardo DiCaprio as a Boston cop from that movie?
He's a co-op.
Well, actually, they're both duly appointed federal marshals.
Wow.
That was amazing.
I have a career here, guys.
We got to mark that down for a suey somewhere.
We're
We're,
both. Excuse me, sir. We're both duly appointed federal marshals.
That's really good.
Strong.
So it's just
For those of you who don't know that movie,
Is it
that's
just-
tremendous.
Again,
it's
great
just
movie.
the same line every time.
It's all the duel.
Yeah, that's
I said it was limited. Duly appointed federal marshals.
Extra
Duly
syllable in there.
appointed.
Ethan, where'd you go skiing that time?
Tahoe. Most
my
beautiful place
favorites.
I've seen with my own eyes.
I've turned so white, it's crazy.
Yeah, you were just skiing this past week.
Yeah, in
you look
Aspen.
you look so cool skiing with the
White
Kachuk
guy.
jersey on.
Yeah, he did.
Gotta
you
go
were
skiing
styling
with a
out there.
hockey jersey. It's like #1 skiing
Yeah.
The
attire,
amount
I
of
feel like.
Boston Bruin
what do you mean
fans that
they're
I
number one?
randomly ran into and laughed in their face. I was on a lift with a guy to my left. First of all, he's like, I can't believe my wife's going to be so mad at me because I sat next to somebody in a Tkachuk jersey. I was like, man, you're not a hockey fan if you pronounce the T. And then he goes, yeah, you guys knocked us out last year. That was pretty horrible. And I said, and the year before that. And he goes,
Kachuk.
That goes into the next unpopular opinion, which is traveling is not relaxing.
You want to you try with kids, brother.
So what you're saying is this is actually a correct unpopular opinion.
Yes, I agree with this.
Why-
popular opinion.
This is why all families go on cruises.
I like traveling.
Because even if you lose your kid, you didn't really lose your
Traveling without kids is relaxing.
Is this just like the traveling part of a vacation, or are we just saying like generally going somewhere is not relaxing?
Well, I mean, if you're going to like a 5-star resort somewhere, you're going to be relaxed. But if you're doing what Izzy's doing, I don't feel like that's relaxing. I feel like you need a day when you get back to kind of chill.
Well,
Yeah, it
there
depends
are different types of trips. There's like I'm going to a new place that I'm going to explore, and then there's I just want to veg and like relax.
That's why when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for my 40th birthday, everybody's like, why don't you go to a place you haven't been? And I'm like, if I go to a place I haven't been, now I feel pressure to do stuff.
Now it's like I got to do
I
this.
gotta go here. I gotta do this.
You're
So
right.
then I'm
Those
always
types
like,
of- right.
I'm always like behind the relaxing, having a good time because I have to feel like I'm
They're
getting my
still
money out of the
fun.
trip. Yeah, it's still fun. Don't
It's
get me
like
wrong.
really fun to do those things, but it's not as relaxing.
My
Yeah.
dream traveling that I never did, me and a buddy of mine, we had a dream where we wanted to just go to the airport and just buy whatever was the cheapest ticket for the next flight in the next hour or
Like
two.
Jim Carrey and Yes
Going to
Man.
Fort
Yeah,
Myers.
You ever see
Just
Yes
go- it
Man?
wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, I loved Yes
Him
Man.
and
Zooey Deschanel,
they, like,
right?
One of their things is let's just go to
Let's
the
just
airport.
go somewhere. And I honestly, subconsciously, that's probably where it came from because that movie came out when I was like
this
a
was
kid.
you and your friend's
Me
dream.
and my friend, we really wanted to do it, and we finally we pulled the trigger on one Friday night. We drive. We're like, we're just gonna go for a day or a weekend, figure it out. We don't even have a bag. We're just gonna show up and hopefully stay at a hotel.
And then you didn't play. You didn't stick to the game because the flight that I guarantee you there was a plane that was leaving that you're like, well, I don't want to go there.
No, it was Puerto Rico, which would have been great, but it was $500 a ticket. We were like, oh, we'll show up. There'll be a Spirit Airlines flight to like Des Moines for $60
Atlanta is where you're going for
and
cheap.
there was nothing.
you didn't go anywhere?
So we didn't go anywhere. So we stayed and we treated it as if it were like a staycation. So I just went and like crashed at his apartment and we like went to the beach.
Talk
It
about
was so
thinking of
lame.
something really cool,
And then it ended up,
just
yeah, it was like a fine weekend.
Yeah.
We had a
there-
good time together. but that was
There
it.
are companies that will set this up for you and they'll tell you like, hey, pack this kind of clothes, but you don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
So like they'll tell
That
you
sounds
like
awful.
Taylor,
I
let's
would not
see
wanna
that
do
video
that
showing
at
up
all.
and buying a ticket.
well, they're not
just
gonna.
going.
It's
you
not
know?
like, oh yeah, pack your bathing suit. You know, we're going to this a war zone.
We're in
We're
Kyrgyzstan
going to
now.
like some kind of exactly. We're going to some kind of place that has a resort
wanna
or
go
a
to some
beach or something
small
like that.
town.
I
middle
want
of
to
America
Taylor,
somewhere.
you're gonna be the video guy. We're gonna do a bit. We're gonna pitch it to Carl, where I'm just like, the bit is called The Next Flight Out.
Oh, Chris, can you be a
Wow.
part of this?
I love that.
We go to the airport and we're going.
I just see your ass.
Next flight out.
Don't take my idea and then do
I,
it for content
I see the
without
whole
me.
bit. Is Chris Cote walking up to a desk? Hey, next flight out. Where's it going? Lincoln, Nebraska. Well, till next time, guys.
That's
You
what I wanted.
ladies.
The irony is that's where Jim Carrey went in that movie. They ended up at a Nebraska game.
But
they
that's
ended
like
up at
where-
a football
that's
game.
what I
Huskers.
wanted. What I was hoping was that we would get some random kind of small town in
And
a
you
state I
did,
would never
and you
go
were
to
like,
otherwise.
nope.
Well, no, but it was $500 to go to Puerto Rico, and I'm like, I'll go to Puerto Rico and make that a luxury vacation.
This is
Now
why
that you got
Chris
that-
is the mastermind.
Now you got that heat money.
Yes, he figured it out.
Now you can do it.
This was that Channel 7 money.
Yeah.
I was not able to afford that.
We have to do this idea.
I'm in.
Unpopular.
Clearly,
I'm gonna be so pissed.
What a great idea by Taylor and I.
The next flight out, too.
gonna be
you
so
nailed the name.
mad.
Next
You
flight
nailed
out.
the name.
Next flight out. Yeah. Welcome to Hollywood, Jeremy.
Oh my god!
You're officially cut out.
Jeremy's not in the movie. He's not in the
I can't. I
It
will
must be the
so
sunglasses.
angry.
The irony is you look like a writer who would write these type of ideas.
God damn! I gave you the idea.
We'll
I
get you.
took your seat and I took your part. in the
Yeah,
movie.
we'll get you a producer credit. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. No show producer credit.
80-20 my way.
Next
Why
flight.
are you wearing glasses?
I had them on, and then everyone in the room was like, "Oh, you're wearing glasses," and I said, "Okay, I'll keep them on."
No, so the part that the story that I'm missing is I had them on. Why?
Yeah.
Because they were sitting around my neck, and it was bothering me, so I put them on my face for like 2 seconds, and then everybody was like, "Oh, sunglasses!" So
But you're wearing a hat. You
I
can
am.
put them on the brim of a hat instead.
okay.
Next flight out is such a good
wanna
idea.
do it.
You could,
Upside down,
you
that's
could
a
also
choice.
put them on the desk.
It was baseball.
The desk is also
right.
Hey
holding
Siri,
other items.
what's the next flight out?
I'm gonna be.
My Siri's
I
not
swear
on.
to you guys,
Damn it.
if you do this without me, I'm gonna be even more annoying than usual.
Taylor, what's the next flight out of Fort Lauderdale? I mean, in Miami, whatever. I don't give a
I
shit.
can Google that, right? Let's find
I
out.
don't think you
I-
could Google just what's the next flight
Let's find
out.
out.
You
See,
should have.
that
We
was
have
why I
30
went to the
seconds.
desk and asked
Someone
the
tell me.
question.
Google anything you
Next
want.
flight out.
Sneaking in a take. If you wear flip flops on a plane, you're not going directly to the beach.
Yeah.
You're going to your hotel, you're putting your shit down, you're
Yeah.
taking a dump, and then you're going to the beach. I don't care if you're going to a tropical destination. Do not wear flip-flops on a plane.
It might just be the chair, but I really want you to shut the fuck up.
I'm anti-toe on a flight as well. What's the next
Jeremy's
flight
so happy he can tell somebody back here.
Phoenix.
at? Ah!